So a lot of people have been asking me about the Burnt Basque Cheesecake that we've been selling at the cafe, so we're gonna make one today. It's really incredibly simple. The first thing that we're going to do is to prepare the tin. So we've got like a spring form tin here. You can put that for about a tenner. You want to cut yourself a circle of baking paper that's going to sit inside the tin. So it's going to be something like that. Now you put the piece of paper in there. It's going to rise up. You're going to fold the little excess bits of paper over so that they're kind of lying flat against the inside of the tin. Made a bit of a mess of this one. Okay, that's not the neatest, but it's okay. And then you're going to need a piece that goes all the way around the circumference of the tin, like this. So it needs to kind of double over itself a little bit, not too much, because we don't want to waste too much. So I'm going to put it back here. Straighten off the loose end. Right, now what you want is this piece of paper is going to sit inside the tin, but the cheesecake's going to rise up as it's in the oven, and to prevent it from spilling out, this needs to be higher than the height of the tin. So it doesn't want to be too high because it will be close to the top of the oven. You don't want it catching fire. So I'm going to say that probably about here is okay, and the rest of it you can save and you can use that the next time for the next one. Like something like that. And that, get all the stuff out of the way. It's going to sit inside your tin like that. You don't worry about that it's not holding itself to the shape of the tin. The pressure when you pour the mix in is going to force that out and it will hold its shape. So anyway, I'm going to put that to the side for a minute. Get rid of those little excess bits of paper and then yourself a mixing bowl, some scales, and the first thing that we want is just whack that on there. Make sure that we're on the right unit, grams, 0. So it's going to be 280 grams of white caster sugar. $282, that's fine. And to the sugar, what we're going to add is some cream cheese. So get these from Tesco's. These are 200-gram packs, which is handy because you need 4 of them, because the whole recipe calls for 800 grams of cream cheese. So it's up to you which brand you get. These just happen to be on the shelf when I was in the store the other day, so that's what I grabbed. And they say that you need to warm these up to room temperature before you use them, so just take them out of the fridge an hour before you're going to start baking. The scale out the way. And yep, just dump your cream cheese straight onto the sugar. Okay, great. Now that the sugar and the cream cheese are together, you need to get yourself an electric whisk like this one. This is was kindly given to me by a friend not so long ago. Sure it's turned on. And you're going to just whisk the sugar and the cream cheese together. Also, you can, at this point, I like to just put in a few drops of vanilla extract. Don't put vinegar in it, that'll be terrible. A few drops of vanilla is quite nice. Not too much. Just to add a little bit of depth to the cheesecake. Right. Okay, we're good to go. We're just going to whisk the sugar and the cream cheese together. Every now and again it's beneficial to just, using a rubber spatula, just scrape the stuff in from the sides, because you might get some bits there that don't get mixed too well. Oh, better move that out of the way. And whisk. Okay, now what you want to do is you want 4 eggs. I'm going to crack these into a bowl first, because I had a little bit of a disaster a few weeks ago where I was making a cheesecake and one of the eggs was not good. Just a random egg in a pack of eggs, and I cracked it directly into the bowl of the cheesecake and I had to throw the whole thing away. So I learned my lesson, and I now crack my eggs into a bowl first, just for safety. Okay. Incorporate them just one by one, really, just slowly into the mix. There goes one. Add in the second one. So there's all the eggs added in. At this point also, I like to scrape it in from the sides again. Just to get those bits that are stuck to the sides back into the mix. Okay. Whisk a little bit more. just a pinch of salt, 300 grams of double cream, just dump that in at this point. And you're going to sift in a little bit of flour. I'm using a gluten-free flour just to make this gluten-free for if anyone is gluten-free. It's about 20 grams, it's not much at all. That's all you need, 20 grams. I'm just going to eyeball it. And just sift that in and whisk it in with the cream. Oh, it might also be noting, if I didn't mention it at the beginning of the video, that your oven needs to be preheated at about 200 degrees for this. So my oven's already on over there and it's ready to go. Alright, so just put this plate so I can put the whisk down without making a massive mess, and as you can see I've splashed bits of mixture all over the table. I'm obviously going to have to clean that up. Seems to happen with these electric whisks, it just goes everywhere. And now that is basically it. You've got to get your pre-lined springform tin and you've got to pour in your cheesecake mix. So stretch it out as far as you can, and then it's always a bit nerve-wracking because sometimes it doesn't go quite to plan. But yeah, basically just dump that in there. You see how the paper kind of automatically stretched out to the shape of the tin there. That's how it goes. Get the rest of that in there. Using the spatula to just scrape out the rest of the mixture from the bowl, because we don't want to waste anything. Right. Now you can see there's some bubbles rising to the surface, that's good. I like to just give it a little bit of a knock because it's better if the air bubbles are knocked out before you put it in the oven, so that they don't cause a problem during the baking process. Okay. And that's it. We're going to whack that in the oven now. See how the cheesecakes have risen up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nice.
Okay, so here we have it. The cheesecake is now almost cooled down completely. As you can see, it has this nice dark colour on the top of it. I'm going to leave it in the springform tin now, and as I'm not going to be eating this cheesecake in the next few days, I'm going to let it cool down completely, and then I'm going to wrap it in cellophane. I'm going to stick it in the freezer, still in the springform pan. When it's completely frozen, I can then take it out of the freezer and you can cut it then very easily with a knife and separate it. Either take part of it out to use and leave some of it in the freezer, or you can defrost the whole thing in one piece. It's just a lot less messy and easier to cut and separate into halves if you do it this way. So here it is, the Burnt Basque Cheesecake, just taking it out the freezer as it's going to be eaten today. And you can see there's a little bit that's escaped through the sides of the paper there, but that doesn't matter. So that can be transferred then onto the plate. And voila, you can either cut around the paper here or you can just peel that entire bit of paper off the bottom, it's up to you.